Today I have a Kauffmann Guitars 63T Sunburst tele. It's a Dutch-made guitar, so made by Kauffmann Guitars in Netherlands. It's a rather recognized brand, at least in Europe. It's similar to Haar guitars or maybe relics. So before we dive into sounds, let's get through the specifications quickly. This one is quite vintagey. We have a two-piece ash body. We have a maple neck with slightly sanded off the back of the neck. We have a deep, dark, thick rosewood fretboard, rather wide frets, 9.5-inch radius. We have vintage Kluson tuners and Wilkinson Telecaster bridge with 3 saddles. We have 3-way switch, master volume, master tone, and a pair of Bare Knuckle Flat 50s tele pickups. So that's as far as the specs go. In terms of looks, it's quite aged, quite relic. It has very nice nitro satin finish in the body and also in the back, and in general in the neck. The lacquer, it doesn't stick. It's rather satin finished, very nice in touch. The neck itself is a thicker C profile, not very thick in the back, but also rounded in the shoulders, so very nice, but also more vintage in the feeling, more old school. The body doesn't have any contour. It has the full contours, no arm cuts, nothing like this. So when you sit and play, you need to adjust with your arm. So now let's dive into some overview of the sounds. In my opinion, it sounds very even. It doesn't sound overly bright or overly deep bassy. I think it's mostly because of the pickups. The pickups name is Flat 50s, so it would suggest the frequency spectrum in all the range is very balanced, and indeed it is. So the neck pickup has more mellowish sound, but not muddy. Bridge pickup has of course a bit of a bite, but not very aggressive, not Texas-like, twangy, aggressive Telecaster. So in that terms, I would say it's very balanced and it sits in between of the range of sounds. It's good for pop, for blues, for jazz, but also I would like to show you some rock riffs today, so stay with me. If you like the channel and the demos, please subscribe, and let's get right into it. Let's start with some clean sounds. So as you probably can hear, it's not overly bright, not overly bassy. It's even sounding in all the positions. It has some quack in the middle. I would like to demonstrate to you in a second. So now let's get some middle neck and bridge pickup, middle position, funky tones, and see how this tele speaks. There is a nice twang to it. Now let's try some more overdrive, lightly crunch tones with licks and riffs. and at the end let's test it in a more rocky situation. I will even try to get to drop the riffs. It's not a rock machine, it's not a metal machine, but I think it has some nice vibe when you play with more overdrive on lower output pickups and more vintage tele like this. So let's try it.